All right, welcome back to the Kian and the Prez show. We're going to do now our NFC predictions for the 2025 NFL season. We're going to go division by division. We'll get this done, and then we'll have our third season preview, which will have end of season awards and Super Bowl picks coming out early next week. So let's get right into it. NFC is a little more exciting than AFC, a little bit more. As fact as more change and more competitive of a conference. Why I think the AFC is more top heavy. But we'll start with the NFC East. And then we'll start at number 4 in the NFC East. And it's fun to say because I'm not a big fan of Jerry Jones. And I'm sure many Cowboys fans aren't. But I have them at number 4. And I have them 4 and 13. I don't think they're going to be good. I know Dak didn't play much of last year. But I just feel like the roster has gotten worse. And Micah's not playing and he won't be healthy. I think they're going to get embarrassed in week 1 by Philadelphia. And I'm all here for it. And if I'm Micah, trade me. Get me out of this place. You overpaid for Dak. Your team is not going to be good or Super Bowl ready anytime soon. You have 2 teams in the division that are clearly better than you. And you have a Giants team that is trending up, in my opinion. So it sucks to be a Cowboy fan. So, anyways, I don't think they're going to win a lot of football games. I think their offense will be fun to watch, but if Mike is not in the field, they have no defense, and right now he's not going to be in the field. Third, I have the Giants 7 and 10. Giants, let's just do the smart thing here. You can trot old Russell Wilson out for 4 games, and then just put Jackson Dart in. Let's be realistic. You're not winning the Super Bowl this year, but you're going to have an awesome pass rush and a really good defense. And Jackson Dart looked good in preseason. I know against second and third teamers, but that's fine. Let's figure it out. You traded up to get him. For some reason you decided to sign Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson. I get it. Stop gaps. Maybe teach him a little bit about how to be an NFL quarterback. It's good mentorship. But let's not pretend that he's not your future. Jackson Dart is your future. 36-year-old Russell Wilson is not. So just have him out there. Give Russ 4 or 5 weeks. We know it's not going to work out. Anyways, I have the Giants going 7 and 10. And I think they'll be a fun game, but their schedule is brutal. I re-looked at it before I adjusted my ranks for them. I had the Giants a little higher as far as wins and losses. I don't think they're a playoff team this year, but their schedule is brutal. But I think they'll be competitive because of the defense. So put Dart out there. Number 2, I have the Commanders. Little unknown stat about the Commanders: they are the oldest team in the NFL. Now, when you think about
I thought it was the Cardinals.
no, they're the oldest team in the NFL. And because they have players like Zach Ertz and Bobby Wagner, kind of,
Oh,
you know,
you're saying the oldest
franchise. No. The oldest team, as in personnel, the players on the field, they are the oldest team in the NFL. They do have some younger talent, obviously Jaden Daniels, but I mean, even Terry McLaurin's not young. He's in his 30s. Austin Eckler's old. They just have a lot of old players. Emery Tunsil's not a young player. They need to build a young roster. Remember, they won a lot of one-score games. They had a lot of fourth-down conversions. Their schedule is tougher this year. And I just don't think they're going to go 12 and 5 again. They're not going to sneak up on people. And I think they got a long way to go to kind of turn over that old roster into young roster. I know they signed some guys and stuff like that. They're trying to win now real quick. They got new ownership. I just feel like it's going to be a comeback down to earth year for the Commanders, and I have them going 9 and 8. And number 1, I have the Eagles, and I'm going 12 and 5. And you're going, oh, defending champs. Why are you having 12 and 5? Well, speaking of young, their defense is extremely young. And they have a lot of new pieces that they're going to be trying out. I think there's going to be some issues early with that defense, and they're going to be in some close games, and that's why I'm 12 5. Still winning the Super Bowl, still a Super Bowl favorite. I just think their defense is not quite as good as it was towards the end of last season. They could potentially be great by the end of the year. They'll work through it. Obviously, their offense is a machine. They'll be able to run the football. Their offensive line is still good. They have all the weapons healthy, so that's not a problem. It's more a problem with their defense. I think they'll struggle a little bit, and that's why I'm going 12-5.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay. Well, in fourth place for me, I have the Dallas Cowboys going 6-11. So a little bit better than what you have, what you project.
You don't hate them as much as I do. That's why. It's okay. It's good for you to be nonpartisan like that. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. Okay. I think their passing offense might be okay against some teams with bad defenses, with CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott. But I, other than that, their offense isn't really great. Their line might get better. I don't. They're still. They still don't really have a clear RB1. I don't think Javonte Williams is really gonna improve that much. And their defense. I mean, their best player is Micah Parsons, but they're having troubles with him right now. So I think they're gonna be able to win some games, but they are going to be the worst in the division, and it's going to be quite difficult for them. But they do have a new head coach, so that's something. And third place, I have the New York Giants, also going 6-11, but getting tiebreaker. I think. I think their offense have. I think their offensive line might get better with Evan Dard. I don't really. I don't really know, but their receiving room is solid, and Malik Neighbors should be just as good. And I think at quarterback, I just Jackson Dart just I don't know how ready he is for the NFL. So I don't know. It might take him a little while to develop, but he has potential. But I don't think we're going to see that in year one. And I think they're going to win most of their games with their defense. I think Paulson Debo and Javon Holland and Brian Burns, Abdul Carter now, and Dexter Lawrence if he stays healthy. I think that is how they're going to get their 6 wins mostly. So I have them at 3. They're going to do better, but they've still got some improvements to make. And number 2, I have Washington. They are going 9-7-1. They are the team that is tying the Raiders. And I think their offensive line will be better with Josh Connerly and Laramie Tunsil. So it should be easier for them to run the ball and pass the ball, Jaden Daniels. And their defense, I think Mike Samuel's still playing in the slot is going to be better, but I think it's going to be very difficult for them to repeat a 12-5 season. So I think they got a little lucky at times, and it's going to be a lot tougher for them to win with an aging team, and they don't really have that much off the edge, and it's going to be pretty tough for them. So they are going second place. And number 1, the Eagles. I have them again going 14-3, and and the Commanders. They also do make the playoffs, and the Eagles do because they are the winner of this division. I think their offense will still be quite good. I don't think there's much to argue about there. Their defense, they lost some players, but I think in the Fangio scheme, they with another great draft, getting Jahad Campbell. I think their youth will only get better, and they'll be able to play even with loss of Milton Williams and C.J. Gardner Johnson. So I think their edge group is gonna. I mean, they were great in the Super Bowl, but that was against a bad offensive line. But I think they'll do just. I think they'll do quite good. So they're gonna be great again.
Alrighty, NFC North. Best division in football last year. I don't think that changes. I don't think they'll have two teams late in the season, 14-2, battling for the division. That was a crazy thing, but I do think that this team at the bottom will be better. At number 4, I have Chicago 8-9. I think Caleb's gonna be better. I think the offense is gonna be better. I think Ben Johnson is figuring it out. But to expect them to be, you know, this huge step up, I think it's just really hard. They just have 3 really good teams above them. And I think it's kind of crazy to expect them to take this giant leap. Um, like I said, I think Caleb will play better. I think there'll be some growing pains, but he'll figure it out. I think their offense is going to look fun and flashy. Their defense, though, their secondary is okay. They don't have the best pass rush, and I think that's kind of where their struggle is, defense against these other high-powered offenses they'll face in the division. So I have the Bears going 8-9. But Bears fans, maybe Caleb Williams breaks 4,000 yards this year.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. All right, number 3, I have Minnesota 10-7. People forget how good the Vikings defense really is, and Brian Flores is the defensive coordinator. And everybody looks at the Vikings and they say, "Oh, no more Sam Darnold. You got this rookie quarterback." Well, that's one half of the ball, and then you got to remember what Kevin O'Connell is able to do with Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins, and we're just expecting him to fall off a cliff because he's got a rookie quarterback. I just I don't think that's true. I think he's had a year. I know that JJ has been stuck, for a lot of that time fixing his knee and getting fully prepared, but he had a lot of time to study film and a lot of time to train and go over stuff. I think there'll be a little growing pains. I don't think they're going to go 14-3 this year, but I do have them at 10-7. Still think they're a competitive team. They're going to be close in a lot of games. Number 2, I have the Green Bay Packers. Julian Love, I think, is going to take another step up this year. I know it's the same record as they had last year, but I think that they're going to be that much closer, second in the division.
Did you say Julian or Jordan?
Jordan Love, not the safety for the Seahawks.
Okay.
But Jordan Love, yes. Either way, I think Matthew Golden is great. I think their offense. I mean, Jacobs is going to be able to run the football. I think their offense is going to be fine. I think they're going to struggle with defense. They don't have a great pass rush. I think the defensive coordinator will do enough to keep them in games, and they'll score more points. And I think there's just the difference between Green Bay and Minnesota. It's just a little bit of quarterback play. Matt LaFleur is obviously a good head coach as well. Great coaches in this division. And so I think they'll be competitive, and they'll maybe make a little more noise in the playoffs this year. Number 1, I have the Lions. Until the Lions get beat, I'm trusting Dan Campbell. I think he's built a culture. I think it's gritty. I think people forget also when they talk about the Lions, like, oh, they lost all these guys. Like, they lost a lot of guys last year. In the regular season, their defense was destroyed, and they won 15 games. 15 games. I know their interior offensive line took a hit that they weren't quite expecting. But I still think that their culture and how they play, and the return of Eden Henderson. People forget, before he got hurt, he was on track to win Defensive Player of the Year per Keen's prediction. I think it was going to happen. I wonder if he'll pick him again this year. But I think their defense is going to be better, and it's healthy. I mean, Brian Branch is great. Kirby Joseph is great. Remember they brought in DJ Reed to play the other corner spot. I just think their defense is going to make up for maybe a slight tick in the offensive takedown. And still they're going to rule the division. I don't think they're going to go 15-2 because I think the division got better and the schedule was tough and there's a little attrition there. But I still think they're a title contender in the NFC. So that's number 1. I got the Detroit Lions.
Okay. Uh, Number 4 for me is Green Bay Packers.
This is where we disagree.
I usually disagree with the Packers
Yes,
just as a team.
I know. Go ahead.
Um, maybe I'm underestimating them. The only thing I can't agree with is that we hate the 49ers.
Right. Keep going.
I mean, I think they hate most of the NFC West, but uh, I just don't think their defense is going to be good enough against the rest of the offenses in the division. Um, I think Jordan Love he might get back to his form from a couple of years ago, but he wasn't that great last year, and I don't I feel like he might be he might be average, he might be pretty good, he might even be great. Um, but and I think Matthew Golden is a really great steal for them after the first round. So I think their passing attack will still be good. Their running game should still be good. Their offensive line is deep, I guess. Uh, but their defense, I mean, they have Nate Hobbs at cornerback, and then the rest is, I mean, Javon Bullard might do something. He might improve, and Xavier McKinney should probably play well again. Um, but I don't think their pass rush is good. I think teams might be able to run on them. I think Edgerrin Cooper is a is a good linebacker. Um, I didn't like to see him go to the Packers, but I think he'll be a good player. But so they'll be able to get the 8 wins, but that's it. And number 3, I have the Chicago Bears. I have them going 9-8, and getting a winning season. They will not be making the playoffs, but this will still be a big step up. Maybe Caleb Williams throws for 4,000 yards, as you mentioned. I think it's possible he might get close. Um, but this team has improved. I think their offensive line should be way better.
Should be.
Should be way better.
Still questions about those tackles.
I guess so. They're solid. They're solid. And they brought in way more weapons. And Ben Johnson. So they're really trying to make a great situation for Caleb Williams, and I think that's gonna start working for them this season. And I think their defense is gonna do enough. They've got enough good players that they're gonna be able to outscore opposing teams like the Packers, hopefully, and they're gonna be able to get a win over them. And then at 2, I have Minnesota going 11-6. This is not as good as last year, but I think they will still be good as they improve in the trenches.
Yes.
I think that's very important for them. Let's see if Aaron Jones has another good season, but they also brought in Jordan Mason, who should be a good backup. And they can bring him in at certain spots. And I think Jordan Addison getting suspended might hurt them for the first couple weeks. I don't know how Ty Felton is going to do.
They did the trade.
They do have Adam Thielen.
That's what I was gonna say. Yep.
I don't know what he's going to do, but he's going to be a starter for the first few weeks. And I think J.J. McCarthy is going to have a decent season. I think he was a great quarterback prospect, and he's had time to learn and time to improve. And I think he's got great offensive mind. And I think although the secondary kind of got worse, the pass rush will be incredible. The Byron Murphy will still be good. Josh Metellus will still be good.
We get it.
Smith
We get it. You like the
will be
Vikings.
good.
We get it.
I'm sad that Cameron Bynum isn't there. is Detroit. I have them going 12-5. I think it's going to be. They only lost 2 games last year. I think they're still a great team, and they drafted great, and but they still are missing some stuff on defense. I still think they need more edge depth.
True.
And I don't know if Terran Arnold is going to improve to just be an elite corner in the second season. But I think it's going to be a little bit tougher for them, but they're still going to basically cruise through most of the NFC and get up a win over the Vikings and be able to win the NFC North.
All right. NFC South. No surprise who I have known before. Kind of like the Browns. We've got the Saints, the New Orleans Saints, and I have them going 3-14. Sorry, Saints fans. You knew this was coming. Good news for you is I think you have a decent offensive line. You just don't have a quarterback. Your defense is old. Demario Davis and Cameron Jordan should just retire. You had great careers, gentlemen. It was fun to watch you. But this is going to be so ugly that you're not going to want to be around. Sorry. Kellen Moore got hired to turn this thing around. Give him an actual quarterback prospect. And with that offensive line, and then start rebuilding the defense and fix your cap situation. Anyway. Number 3, I have Atlanta, 6-11. I think their offense is going to be great. I think their defense is going to be horrible, and their schedule sucks. So I think they're going to put points on the board. They're kind of going to be like, they're not going to be as explosive as Cincinnati was last year. They have a better running game, but the Caleb McGarry tackle injury hurts them. Because he's a lefty, that's his blindside protector, Penix. So that kind of hurts. They're getting younger on defense, but they were bad defensively last year, and I just don't think they're going to be. They didn't do enough to fix the defense. So I have them going 6-11. Even though I'm a big Penix fan, I hope he plays well, and I think they'll be throwing the football a lot. Number 2, my kind of surprise of this year is I have Carolina with a winning record. I have them going 9-8. I think their defense will be a little bit better. Their offensive line is good. Chuba Hubbard is a stud, and they can run the football. And I think that it's Chuba, isn't it? Chuba Hubbard.
There's only one B, so I think it's Chuba.
Yeah, Chuba. I think they're going to be able to run the ball, and I think Bryce Young started getting better down the stretch. And I think that they're going to surprise some people. And they're kind of my surprise to be kind of contending. But, the leader in the clubhouse is Tampa Bay. They're going to win the division again. They've won it for the last 5 years. So, Tampa Bay going 11-6. I know they've got some stuff to overcome in the beginning of the season. They're really thin at receiver with McMillan hurt, Godwin's hurt, and Tristan Wirfs is not healthy. But I think Baker is the man in that division. I think he'll overcome it. I love Bucky Irving. I love Vita Vea. So I think Tampa Bay will go 11-6 and still rule that division. Your turn.
Okay. For the NFC South, in last place, I have the team being the worst in the entire league, the New Orleans Saints. I think their offense will probably be bad with Spencer Rattler did not look that good last year.
And he won the job.
And he's the starter. So that doesn't look good for Tyler Shuck, or maybe Spencer Rattler is actually good. Yeah, probably. We'll see. Crazier stuff is happening. I think, other than that, Alvin Kamara.
Trade him. Get Alvin Kamara out of New Orleans.
They just resigned him.
I know.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Alvin in another jersey, though. not toiling away through his prime in a horrible team.
Yeah, and soon he's probably going to start regressing, and it's going to be difficult for him. And but uh,
His contract's too much. He's not
just
getting
the
traded.
simple handoffs might do a little bit to get them 3 wins. But I don't know if we can expect much from him in the receiving game.
Yeah.
And I think their pass defense is going to be maybe the worst in the league. They have Kool-Aid McKinstry at cornerback. That's basically it. In their corner room, and then at safety, I don't even know if Tyrann Mathieu still exists.
They got Justin Reed though.
They have Justin Reed. He might be solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's and Chase Young is okay. Carl Granderson is okay, but that's basically it for the Saints. So I'm not expecting much from them. And number 3, I have the Panthers going 7-10. I think they will improve this season. Bryce Young, I think, will get even better. I think the receiving room should be better. Replacing Adam Thielen, I suppose, with
Coker.
McMillan
Coker.
as the best receiver in the room, probably.
Yes. Jalen
Coker and Xavier Legette. Legette didn't have a great season, but I still see potential in him. So I think they'll be okay there. And on defense, I think it's improved. They got 2 great rookie edge rushers. I think in Nick Scordon and Princely Umangielen. And they have J.C. Horn. He's okay. He's basically the only option for them at cornerback. So I think they'll be 7-10. It's not going to be great for them, but they will improve, and I think in a couple years they could end up being one of the best teams in the division. At number 2, I have the Falcons going 8-9. I think they got. If you look back, it seems like they got some lucky wins and still lost the division after beating Tampa Bay twice.
They beat Tampa Bay twice, yeah.
But this year, I think their defense is actually going to be a little bit better. I think Jalen Walker and James Pierce are really great. I think James Pierce is going to get some opportunities for just some easy, quick sacks, and Jalen Walker, we've heard great things about him, that he's like a leader, and he's an amazing athlete. He can play linebacker and edge. So I think they could end up being great in the future. I think they'll be at least solid right now. And I think they have experience with being second in the division. Raheem Morris maybe has a better second year. And I think Michael Penix will be pretty good, hopefully. At number 1, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I only have them going 9-8. I think the injuries will be tough for them, and they're in a. I think the Panthers might get a win on them or something. I'm not entirely sure, but they still will win the division. Baker Mayfield will still be good. Mike Evans will still be good. Hopefully.
1,000 yards.
Hopefully, getting another 1,000 yards. Yeah. It's gonna be awesome if he retires without ever. You know what I mean.
Keep going.
I think their offensive line should be good. Luke Goedeke is good. Graham Barton is hopefully going to be even better. He was already, I think he was solid last year, but and their defense is still improving and getting better. They have some young players that I think will get better, but So I think it's going to be another season of them just winning the division, but they're going to lose some games to the NFC West, maybe. Uh, we'll see. So that's it for the NFC South for me.
All right, last division, NFC West, the one that we hold dear and close to our heart. All right, number 4. Oh, you're gonna try to be non-biased by taking the hat off now? Um, Number 4 is the Cardinals for me. I don't I don't remember them winning 8 games last year. I don't know how they did it. I really don't. I did think they had a good draft. I think Marvin Harrison Jr.
Is not a bad head coach.
No, he's not. The problem for him is that he has Kyler Murray as his quarterback. Kyler Murray should have played baseball. He doesn't like football. He doesn't want to get hit. He doesn't want to get touched. And you can tell sometimes the most fast, crazy, one of the most, I mean, I think Lamar's probably the most athletic quarterback in the league. But this guy is super athletic, and you could blow at him and he'd fall over.
Some of his highlights are great, but his lowlights are poor.
Yeah, it just, as if I was a Cardinals fan, I would be like, how do we pay this guy $250 million? I don't know. But you're stuck with him, and that's why you're in 4th. All right, number 3, San Fran, 7-10. Kyle Shanahan's a good coach. The roster is aging. They lost some pieces, and I don't necessarily feel like they have done a great job of replacing them. The receiver room is hurting. I think Pearsall will be good, but Ayuk, not sure when he comes back. Debo obviously gone. Kittle's still there. CMC's still there, but those guys are getting older, and obviously CMC has his injury risks. So I don't think their offensive line play was that great outside of Trent Williams last year. Obviously, they had defensive problems in the second half of the year, especially stopping the run, so they tried to go in the draft, get a lot of defensive line guys to fix that issue. They feel like an incomplete team to me, and it feels about time they had their Super Bowl window, and I feel like it's closing. And a lot of people I see picking San Fran to win the division, and I just don't get it. I feel like it's just one of those things where you just believe in the coach and you're just trying to not let this team go. I know they made 2 Super Bowls in recent history. I just think their window is closed. Number 2, I have the Rams going 10-7. I still think Sean McVay is a top 3 head coach in this league. I have him here because I have concerns about Stafford staying healthy and that offensive line keeping him upright. He is losing mobility. He got beat up in that Philadelphia game in the playoffs. And he's really good about getting rid of the ball quickly, but also he likes to hold on to it to get the possible perfect window. I think Devontae Adams is an upgrade over Cup. I get that, but I just worry about that. I do think their front 7 is good, but I have concerns about their secondary. I don't think they're great at corner and safety. So I think they have some holes in their roster still. And that leaves, ding ding, something I haven't predicted in a while, the Seahawks to win the NFC West and go 11-6. And this offseason was tough for me for a couple reasons. I like Geno. I like DK. But they didn't want to be here. And they made that clear.
So we got more from the trades.
They didn't want to be here. People keep bringing up, national media keeps bringing up, I think it was a mistake to replace Geno with with Sam Darnold. You should have kept Geno. Well, you can't force Geno to sign the contract. As soon as Carroll got hired in Vegas, Geno was gone. He called coach and said, trade for me. Coach was like, done. Done deal. He didn't want to be here. So we got the next best thing. We got a quarterback that the league doesn't really appreciate, even though he won 14 games last year. Our defense will be the second year under McDonald. I think it's going to be really, really good. Chance to be a top 10, chance to be a top 5 defense. Really depends on how we defend the run. I think our secondary is great. I think our pass rush is going to surprise people. And then the best thing of all is we got a new offensive coordinator. Ryan Grubb has gone back to college where he belongs with his passing offense. And we got a guy that loves to run the football. And that's what we need. And if you watch the preseason and the commitment to the run, big sets, a fullback, we're coming downhill at you. Gray Zabel is pushing people around. I'm super excited about this change to really, really strengthening the two areas of need in NFL, which is offensive line and defensive line. The offensive line has been an issue for close to a decade since the Max Unger trade. It's a sore spot for me still. So, anyways, I love that the national media is sleeping on Seattle, and that makes me happy. I like us. We're going to sneak up on some people. We have an easier schedule. I think they win the division, and I'm excited for it. Go Seahawks.
Okay.
Go. We're running late on this episode.
Sorry.
I talked for a long time, and I try to hurry up.
I talked a long time. It's okay.
Go ahead.
Number 4, I have the Arizona Cardinals. I have them going 7-10. I think they had a pretty good draft, except for that Walter Nolan is injured now.
Yep.
Which sucks for them. Darius Robinson, is he healthy? I don't know. But I think he was a good prospect. And Will Johnson, he was injured. And I think he could be a solid. Corner for them. I think Jonathan Gannon is a good head coach, and I think if he had a better team, then he would be able to have a playoff team.
I think if we just had a better quarterback, they would be close to a 10-win team, honestly.
Yeah. So I think it's just gonna be tougher for them. So they aren't gonna get 8 wins, but it's around a similar level. I think they've got pieces to eventually work together a team. They just need one of the other teams in the NFC West to start being bad, so they can seize that opportunity. At 3, I have the San Francisco 49ers. I have them going 8-9. I don't. The story with them last year was they're bad because they got a lot of injuries, and that is true. But I think there are other problems with this team, and I think they tried to address them, but they're still going to be weak on the defensive line. They don't have Charvarius Ward anymore, and I don't know how Christian McCaffrey is going. I have no idea how he's going to do returning this year. But Brock Purdy is the 3rd best quarterback in this division. So I think they'll be able to pick up some wins, but they're not going to be a Super Bowl contender. Definitely not. I think I could see them being a playoff contender, but I think they're the third best in the second worst in the division. At number 2, I have the Rams. I have them going 10-7, so the same as last year. And they will be making the playoffs. Get distracted.
You are getting very distracted.
What does this team do in the off season?
What does this happen? What does this happen to you at the end of the videos?
Who was their first round pick? I can only think about football for 30 minutes.
They signed Devontae Adams.
Oh right, that happened. Okay, so he's good. Puka Nacua is still good. I think Matthew Stafford is a really good. Don't listen to him. Really good quarterback.
Stafford is a real good quarterback.
Yeah. Do you disagree?
Move on to the Seahawks.
Okay, I had I had the Seahawks at 11-6, and I had that before he did.
I don't know why that's relevant.
I believe in my team before he did. I'm just
Just go, bud. Explain.
okay. Basically, entirely new receiving room except for Jackson Smith and Jigba. The offensive line, I think, is going to be better. Charles Cross was quite good last year. Hope he continues to be great this year. Abraham Lucas should be good. Gray Zabel has looked really great, and we might see some more development from the rest of the offensive line. And I think Sam Darnold, he's still in a Shanahan scheme now, so I don't think there should be that many worries about him being bad, but it's still a team friendly deal, so I think they're good for the future with Jalen Milroe, hopefully. But that isn't
He's about 2 years.
But that isn't relevant really for this season. I think Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet will have good seasons, and the defense, I think, hopefully Leonard Williams can have another great season, but he's getting older, and eventually it's gonna be tougher for him. The only problem is they're gonna have to play Byron Murphy at nose tackle again, so I think that might halt his development even more. But Jeremy Reed has also played nose tackle for the Seahawks in the past, so he can do that too. And the edge group should only get better. Freak Woolen and Witherspoon are just phenomenal. So I think the Seahawks will be able to. I think their defense will be better. I think Mike McDonald will be an even better head coach, and with a competent offense, they will be able to get 11 wins and be the 3 seed.
Alrighty. That's it for this video for the NFC. We'll be back with our Super Bowl picks and end of year awards for the last NFL preseason videos, and then we'll be excited for doing our season. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.